Hey guys, it's Smile Behind Lupus. Today I'm hosting a Q&A collaboration, and we had a couple people that participated in the Q&A. We have Frugalistic Lupus Sister, and we have Pam from Pam's World. I'll have their links in the description box below. Check out their channels, check out their Q&A to learn how it is to fight an autoimmune disease. Also, I will list channels that I follow on a regular basis as well for you guys to get more education on this disease. So, with that being said, let's get started with my Q&A. My autoimmune disease that I have is lupus, also known as systematic lupus erythematosus. Question 1. How does your disease affect your relationship as a parent, spouse, or even with friends? I'll start and then I'll let him chime in. So it affects me as a spouse. It's very difficult because every day that you wake up, you're in pain or something is wrong. And you want to be able to do things with your spouse or to be able to take care of needs for your spouse, and that's not always the case. So some days you feel like maybe you should have married somebody else that didn't have all these issues. As a parent, you can't always travel with your kids. Of course, you can't be in the sun. And I know it affects my son because before I was diagnosed, he would say, well, you're always in the bed. And then it's like, okay, I have the diagnosis and I'm still always in the bed. So I just had to make a conscious decision. No matter what, I'm just going to have to try to get up and just push through it. As far as family and friends, I really don't, I have family that I deal with and some that I don't, so it really doesn't affect anything. But friendships, I feel like I have to always cancel on my friends, which they understand, but I really don't think they understand, if you kind of get what I'm saying. Because I feel like I don't know how I'm going to feel 5 minutes to the next. Like I could be ready and amped to go, and then, in the process of getting dressed, I can't go. So it does put a strain, I feel, on friendship. Chime in.
Well, for me, never even really dealt with a situation where it came to lupus until Cheryl. It has helped me to become more compassionate, more patient, especially compassionate. I know I've had issues before Cheryl in my life to where compassion is something that was needed on a daily basis. But when it came to a spouse, it was a whole new avenue. So for me, I would say more compassion. And number 2, our question is, how did the disease diagnosis became explainable to the family? And how is your support system, and how important is the support system that you have? And I'll start off. So I would say, upon hearing about lupus, myself, I definitely had to understand what lupus really was, because I know as a supporter for her, I have to have some mentality or some understanding on what the diagnosis of this disease brings, what it was, how it affects her as a person. Now, of course, I'm not able to understand the whole concept of this is what I'm going through, but I can understand the diagnosis of what it takes her through: tiredness, fatigue, body aches, all that kind of thing like that. So, and I couldn't really say what I do for support, because sometimes I'm good and sometimes I'm not. I'm just being honest. Sometimes it's like, hey, don't be so weak, and don't say this, but then she's almost in tears crying, you don't understand. And so, it is taking time, and every day it's a choice to be compassionate. Then some days I'll be, hard on, hey, do something, get up. Don't let this beat you. Don't let this disturb you from having the peace and happiness you want in life, and being a very strong encourager.
For me, when I explained it to, my family, me and him, we hadn't gotten married when I got diagnosed, but he was, with me through all of the, ups and downs, and seeing there was something wrong. And I remember telling him, like, hey, I need to try to get back in with that rheumatologist that the pain doctor wanted me to see, because the one that he sent me to basically was like, oh, no, it's not lupus. But I kept getting sicker and sicker. And I was like, hey, look, if she tells me that it's not, then I'll leave it alone. But I went in and she told me. It was scary, because it's like I'm in the medical field. You know about lupus, but you really don't know of it. And I'm like, okay, so now what? And then it's like, okay, well, there's no cure for this disease. So really the only people I really explained it to, of course, he was, a big part of it, my son and my brother, and my sister, who also has an autoimmune disease. So they took it, I think pretty well. Sometimes you get I wish you didn't have to go through this because you're so young. And I'm like, I don't want to go through this if I'm old. But yeah, the support is like really, really, really important, because I feel like if I did not have my husband by my side, going through treatments, surgeries, I don't know where I would have been. Like, because I went through a deep depression where I didn't want to come out of the room. And his constant, pushing me, you gotta just keep going. You can't let this disease win. So I'm very thankful for that, because I don't know if I didn't have him by his side if I would even be here today. That's just being real. All right, question number 3. What symptoms do you face on a daily basis with your disease? So with my lupus, my symptoms on a daily basis is pain that's all over my entire body, joint pain. I don't think I've ever been below a number 5 on the pain scale. Constant fatigue, and of course, if I go out in the sun for any reason, it wipes me completely out. I have some stomach issues with nausea. It just depends. Some days I have headaches. It just depends. But mostly it's just the fatigue and shortness of breath. I just got off oxygen back in March, and I still struggle with my breathing. But I think that's probably what, I face on a daily basis. Number 4, how do you cope when you're in a flare or having a bad day? I've learned to listen to him. I know I should listen to my body, but he will tell me in a heartbeat, you need to go lay down, you need to turn your phone off, and you need to just chill and just let your body rest. And that's a hard thing for me to listen to. But when I'm in a flare, I do sleep. I take the necessary medications that I need, maybe to help bring my pain level down. because I have that for breakthrough pain, and some of my medications make me drowsy. So a lot of times I don't like to take them, not during the day. So I'll make sure I take them. I watch TV, binge watch, listen to gospel music. That's pretty much it.
No, it's not.
What? What else?
You know, and as a, I guess you could say, supporter of the situation, is we need a new phone call. Look at him, make me look. That's just crazy. But no.
You got my moon face.
As a spouse, I don't know. Maybe it is some men out there that have this. I don't.
Yeah.
Most of the time, I'm seeing her go through the lupus group. I'm only really familiar with one man that lives in Tallahassee, and it's the Sim boys that play pro ball. It's their father, and I never would have known he had it had they not told me. You know, I noticed he would be missing sometimes in certain functions or whatever. But I do try to encourage her to realize and understand that, you know, you can't put garbage all the way in yourself all the time and expect to get freshness out. If you consistently put negative things in, it's going to react to the chemical imbalance when it comes to not just lupus, anybody. I tell her, you know, just don't find yourself being into a situation, even if you are in the bed, to where you're feeding yourself with something that's not encouraging you. You know, news is news, and it's always, to me, negative. And if all you do is listen to negative stuff, your response and your
Question number 5. What do you want people to walk away knowing about lupus? I want people to know, be more educated. Lupus is more than just being tired. And the prayer that I pray is that I want people to see me smiling and not what I truly feel like on the inside. And know that lupus is an invisible disease, which most autoimmune diseases are. Just because a person looks okay, they're not okay. And just because, you know, their 20s and their 30s, their struggle is the same as if they were 50 or 60. Once you have this disease, it's not prejudiced on age, race, or anything. So I would want people to just be more compassionate. You don't know a person's situation, and don't assume. Just, you know, talk to them, ask how it affects them. It's more than us just being tired, or more than us just being, you know, our bodies hurting. You know, it's my lupus is the SLE version, so it affects all of my organs. You don't know how hard it is for a simple cold to put us in the hospital, you know. So that's, I think, what I want people to know from a patient standpoint of dealing with it. Do you have anything to add? Nothing else to add. Thank you, guys. Thanks for watching. Please like, comment, subscribe, and share with anyone that you know that's facing an autoimmune disease. Also, make sure you check out Pam's World and Frugalistic Lupus Sister. Till the next time, be blessed.